Is this thing on? Hey, it's David Wakefield, Prime Lending. Hope you're doing incredibly well. I wanted to talk to you today about buying versus renting. Should you buy or should you keep renting if you're in that situation? Now, the fact of the matter is, it's May 2022. 2022, as soon as we hit January 2022, almost January 1st, basically, rates started climbing up. Rates have been on a steady climb. Rates are projected to continue to go up for the balance of the year. At some point, we're going to find a point of equilibrium that's going to balance out, and that's not anytime soon based on what we're seeing. So rates have been going up. Real estate values have also been going up. Therefore, it's making it more and more difficult for people to buy. So the question is, should you buy or should you not buy? And I'm going to talk to you about three things and three reasons that you might be concerned with, and finish up with something why I think you should potentially consider buying. Now, number one, a lot of people are concerned about a crash. Looks like my pen's not great, but a lot of people are concerned about the market crashing. Is it going to crash? Is it going to fall apart? Is it going to be 2008 all over again where values plummet? The reality is, no, it won't, okay? There's a lot of reasons why. We'll go into more detail with that if you like, but basically, long and short of it is, most experts don't feel that's going to be the case. One of the main reasons is we have much more stringent credit standards than what we did at that time. It was kind of like the wild, wild west at that time, and things were not checked out and vetted quite so well. Right now, a lot of people have a lot of equity in their house, number one, and also the standards are tougher. So we're not going to see that crash, okay? So that's one thing that if you're worried about it, don't worry about it. That's number one. Number two, rent, okay? Your rent, if you are renting, it's projected to go up at 7.1% in 2022. So that means we're going to continue to see your rental payments go up. If you're in a renting situation, you've probably been approached by your landlord recently saying, hey, I'm going to bump up the rent, okay? Maybe they're looking to sell their house and cash in on the current real estate value, pocket some cash, and guess what? Now you got to go find some new place to stay. Should you buy it or should you rent it? Okay, well, guess what? If you rent, the payment's going to keep going up. If you buy it with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. You know what your payment's going to be. Nobody's jacking up your payment anymore. You've got safety in that situation, okay? And now the next thing is going to be equity. I mentioned that before with the people that are selling the house, right? If you buy a house, you have the ability to build up equity in that house. Now that creates long-term wealth. My parents, when they bought their house way back when, they bought it for $35,000. They sold it for $150,000, and then guess what? Their neighbor with almost the identical house sold for about $250,000 a year later. My wife and I were years ago watching one of those fix and flip shows, and they featured that neighborhood that I grew up in. These people were getting a bargain of a deal for $690,000 on that house my parents paid $35,000 for, okay? The average price in that neighborhood was $850,000, $900,000, something in that range. So what do you think? Would it have been a good idea for my parents to have kept that house if they were able to? Now they sold it, they needed the cash out to buy the new one. However, man, if they could have maintained ownership in that house, where would they be right now with their assets? Quite a different story. So the same thing applies for me. I bought my first house for $131,500. We sold it later for somewhere on the other side of $400,000. Now, again, real estate values go up. Therefore, your equity increases. You pay your mortgage balance down. Therefore, that split of that, basically, that difference is the cash you're going to put in your pocket if you decide to sell or do a cash out refinance, consolidate some stuff, whatever the case is. So again, should you rent or should you buy? Long term, it's in your best interest to buy if you're able. Don't worry about the crash. It's really not likely to happen. Rent, you know what the story is on that. If you're renting right now, payments are going to go up. They're going to keep going up. And equity, the true way that people build equity and build long-term wealth is through real estate. You hear all these experts, all these gurus out there. Grant Cardone will tell you all about that. Every other person out there in the world has a lot of real estate in their portfolio, and they've got tremendous amount of equity built up in that. So should you rent or should you buy? If you want to know more, feel free to reach out to me directly. This is David Wakefield at Prime Lending. You can find me at davidwakefield.com, and we'll be happy to take care of you. Make it a great day.